If I were a boy.
So what exactly was the suffrage movement? The suffrage movement began in 1848 when the first women's convention was held in Seneca, New York. In the 20th century, two organizations, the National American Women's Suffrage Association and the National Woman's Party, took leadership of the suffrage movement. And under the leadership of Carrie Chapman Catt and Alice Paul, both organizations took moderate measures in order to try to convince President Wilson to pass a constitutional amendment giving all women in the United States the right to vote. Throughout their protests, the women of the suffrage movement, also known as suffragettes, never turned to violence and held peaceful protests. However, during these protests, people who opposed the movement assaulted many suffragettes. These assaults range from objects being thrown at the women to women being attacked while they were marching or protesting. Because many women were hurt, people became outraged, and this outrage turned into further support for the suffragettes and their fight for the right to vote. Possibly one of the most radical actions performed by the suffragettes was in 1917 when the National Woman's Party picketed the White House and displayed signs such as "Mr. President, how long must women wait for liberty?" But the actions of these women began paying off in 1893, when Colorado was the first state to pass an amendment giving women the right to vote. And between 1893 and 1918, 15 more states passed amendments granting women the right to vote. And finally, on August 26, 1920, the 19th Amendment of the Constitution was passed, granting all women of the United States of America the right to vote. Suffragettes not only opened up the world of voting to the women of the United States, but also left a legacy that can still be seen today. Currently, there are 20 female members of the United States Senate, and there are 92 women who hold seats in the United States Congress. There are 3 women serving for the Supreme Court, and women make up 60% of college students and earn the majority of master's degrees and doctorates. 40% of wives make more money than their husbands, and in the last election, 5% more women voted than men did, truly showing the impact that suffragettes had on our society. However, there are still many changes that need to be made. Although women now have all the legal rights that men do, they still do not have the opportunities to succeed in politics or in the workplace. Today, women hold only 27% of all jobs in the fields of science and engineering. Gloria Steinem said, "We've begun to raise daughters more like sons, but few have the courage to raise our sons more like our daughters." Women make up only 38% of the managing positions in the workplace, and the higher the positions become, the less women there are to hold them. Bella Abzug said, "The test for whether or not you can hold a job should not be the arrangement of your chromosomes." Throughout history, women have held only 2% of the seats in both the United States Congress and the Senate. Elizabeth Warren said, "This year, for the first time, we now have 20 women in the United States Senate, although we can hold that applause for when we have at least 50 women in the U.S. Senate." Today, women earn a weekly salary that is only 81% of what men make per week. That means for every dollar a man earns, a woman makes 81 cents. Vera Nazarian said, "A woman is human. She is not better, wiser, stronger, more intelligent, more creative, or more responsible than a man. Likewise, she is never less. Equality is given. A woman is a human." So, Mr. President, how long must women wait for liberty?